I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know all those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, he's sure he can control the demon. Didn't work out.
So I received this message from the heavens. My microwave dish, my SETI dish, finally captures something. We're coming to your planet, a super intelligent alien race. We're coming July 13th, 2030, and boy, you better be ready. AI is just like that. It's going to be exactly the thing that you're thinking about those super intelligent AIs. So the one thing I can tell you is they're not going to be like us. So alien means, different. These things that we're building are not going to be people. They might be really smart, they might be really good at all sorts of different things, but they're not going to be like us. They're going to be aliens. And they're going to be, I'm sorry to say, way smarter than every single person in this room. But these words, demons, doesn't capture the essence of what's happening here. Yes, there are these massively intelligent entities out there, but they're not good, they're not evil. They just don't give a shit about you even in the slightest. The same way that you don't care about an ant is the same way they're not going to care about you. And these things that we're summoning into the world now, they're more like the Lovecraftian great old ones. There are entities that are not necessarily going to be aligned with what we want. And underneath it all is this rising tsunami that, if we're not careful, is going to wipe us all out.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about quantum computers and why people care so much about them. And that is that there are an enormous number, mind-bogglingly large number, of parallel realities, as real as this one, that have different consistent histories. So imagine a world where all of the laws of physics as we know them are obeyed, but different decisions were made along the way. Different decisions at the level of tiny microscopic particles, different decisions all the way up to what you chose to eat for lunch and whether you chose to come to the session or not. Quantum mechanics makes a very specific prediction that all of those are as real as the thing that you remember. And this is bizarre, because we don't see those other things. But science has reached the point now where we can build machines that exploit those other worlds. And quantum computers are perhaps the most exciting of all of these. Humans use tools to do things. If you give humans a new kind of tool that can do things that you couldn't otherwise do, imagine the possibilities. This is what they look like. There are two of them. From the outside, they look like giant black monoliths. They have a fridge inside them, a refrigerator that cools these chips to almost absolute zero, hundreds of times colder than interstellar space. Amongst the coldest and most isolated and extreme conditions that humans have ever been able to engineer. So if you have the opportunity to stand next to one of these machines, it is an awe-inspiring thing, at least for me. It feels like an altar to an alien god. They really are impressive machines. The heart of this big box is a tiny chip about the size of your thumbnail. And on this chip resides all of the wonder and magic that makes this thing go. I'm not going to describe in any mathematical detail how it all works, but let me give you an analogy. In quantum mechanics, there's this concept that a thing can exist in two states which are mutually exclusive at the same time. Imagine that there really are parallel universes out there, and now imagine you have two that are exactly identical in every respect, all the way out to the horizon as far as we can see, down to the last little atomic detail of every single thing, with only one difference. And that's the value of a little thing called a qubit on this chip. In a quantum computer, that device can be in this strange situation where these two parallel universes have a nexus, a point in space where they overlap. And when you increase the number of these devices, every time you add one of these qubits, you double the number of these parallel universes that you have access to. Until such time when you get to a chip like this, which has about 500 of these bits, you have something like 2 to the 500th power of these guys living in that chip.
Well, the good news is when the robots take over, they will remember you were very gracious.
While many embrace AI, 52% of Americans are more concerned than excited about it in their daily lives.
There are a lot of people watching right now who are probably scared and have never actually used it in a knowing way.
I don't think we should be scared. I think we should be disciplined and we should honor it and have a reverence for what is to come and respect. Because I think it's going to change in ways that are unimaginable for the good. And just as there is for the good, there's the yin and yang of everything. And so we need to do whatever we can so that we are not in the same position that we are now with social media.
Yeah.
Now is the time.
Changing things in unimaginable ways. And we've had conversations here about this. Just this week, Beyonce talked to GQ about artificial intelligence. Taylor Swift is talking about artificial intelligence. This is just, it is everywhere. It's unimaginable what it's going to do. It's getting bigger and bigger. And so I really enjoyed the conversation with Oprah, and I think people are really going to enjoy getting into it with this AI special, AI and the Future of Us, an Oprah Winfrey special.